BTB Kicks here, and today we're going to be talking about why some sneaker restorers will stay small forever. And before we dive into the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's talk about it. We're going to start with number 5, fear of charging more. So with that, boy, do I have something to say. I honestly started off kind of in this area myself. Of course, when I started cleaning shoes, I didn't know what to charge. I started really low, $10, and then eventually I started increasing little by little by little. But then there was a certain point where I felt like, ooh, like if I charge them this amount, they might stop coming to see me, or they might stop coming to get their shoes cleaned. I mean, that couldn't have been further from the truth. I was really just in my own head, and it really became a part of the reason why I faced burnout in some instances. I was getting way too many pairs, and the value wasn't there as far as the work that I'm putting in on these pairs, the time it's taking me, the money wasn't translating. That happened to me once in college, and it happened to me once in the shop at one point when we were getting slammed with shoes. I had the 50% off deal going on. That's when I started to reduce it, because not only was I losing money, but I was also burning out from my passion and what I love to do. I was just starting to dislike it. Once I raised my prices, I will say you will lose some customers too, but that's just a part of it. It all balances out. You'll end up making more money. You'll get a higher quality customer, and the work will feel worth it again. Number 4, being camera shy and avoiding posting content. This is a huge one, honestly. If you want to grow as a sneaker restorer, you definitely want to make sure you're getting your content out, for one, and for two, once you kind of show people your value as far as, you know, before and afters, the transformations you make, you can get more customers by showing your face. So don't be camera shy, because the moment I started showing my face and doing voiceovers and really showing more of my personality, the more my customers felt like they knew me and got to know me on a more personal level. And you become more likable, and more people will want to bring shoes to you because of your personality, and they like you more so than dude down the street. You know, you have something that they can connect to, something that they like about you, instead of being generic, not showing your face. They don't know anything about you at that point. Especially think about people who want to ship you shoes from out of state. If they just see before and after pictures and just text all the time and maybe transformations but no voice or person behind the work, they're gonna be a little sketched out. But if they get to know you, you show your face, show your personality, show you're a cool person, you're likable, show them really who you are, you'll get more opportunity in your business, but you will also have the chance to grow your business even more than when you started. Number 3, poor systems. And by this, there's a broad range of things that I could be touching on, whether it be not keeping your pairs organized when you're actually doing them. If you're a solo restorer and you have a lot of work that you have to do, you want to batch out your work. If you don't have yourself batched out, it might lead to you losing track of pairs, losing track of laces, being slower on the turnaround, and like it's kind of like a domino effect. As far as getting your systems in place, you want to make sure you have things set up a certain way to make business easy and to make it flow. I'll give you an example of what I do in the shop to keep track of all of the pairs that come in, so I know what service they're getting, what customer dropped them off, and the timeline on how long they've been in the shop and how we can get them out as fast as possible. I actually have tags, and I mean, everybody does their stuff differently, but these tags, I write on there the service the customer's getting. I assign every customer a number, so then I can pull up their entire order in a spreadsheet. If they get an order expedited, I'm able to know by writing that on the tag as well. So when a customer comes in, they just tell me their name, I go in my system, type in their name, shows me the number, then I'm able to see their number, their name, their full, how many shoes they brought in, what shoes they brought in, sizes, and the services that they got. Then I'm able to go into the back, grab the shoes in an efficient way, because I keep all the shoes basically in order, and then I'm able to grab their pairs and then give them back to them. That's just like a basic example of having a system in place, whether it be doing that or even just cleaning up your station before you leave or finish work, so that way when you come right back in the next day to put in some work, you're just ready to go. Those are just some simple things that you need to have in place to help business move through smoothly, and there's less road bumps along the way. Next reason why some restorers stay small forever is because they do everything themselves. When I first started sneaker restoration, of course I had to learn everything myself. I had to go watch YouTube videos, learn how to do the stuff, take my time to learn the technique, get the practice in. And then from there, I had to figure out how to shoot content, edit the content, and do all this other stuff that helped the business grow over time. It is important that you do learn how to do things yourself first before delegating things off. But with that being said, in order to grow and keep growing, you're gonna have to delegate some of the tasks instead of taking everything on, because you are one person and you can only do so much as one person with the same 24 hours that everyone has in a day. This could be maybe getting extra help to help you clean shoes, so workers, getting an editor instead of you editing all your videos, someone who comes in to help you film, someone to help you make marketing content such as posters, flyers, maybe someone or some sort of system that automatically or schedules posts for you. Delegating your work and taking more off your plate helps you spend more time working on the business rather than working, you know, for the business or in the business, or as they say. I'm pretty sure I butchered that. But that's the main thing, is you can't really grow if you're not working on stuff that you, one, either enjoy the most, and or two, brings the most return or value to the business to help it grow. If you're not delegating your work in 2026, you will stay small. And before we move on, I do want to plug my Discord. In my Discord, I have sneaker restorers from all across the United States and in different countries. And what it basically is a community of restorers who want to see each other succeed, helping each other out. We basically meet up, talk about our different issues and problems in the business and ways to grow. I want to see everyone succeed, and in sneaker restoration, there is plenty of meat on the bone for everyone to grow. If you want to join the Discord and have 24-hour access to me and have a community of like-minded individuals looking to grow, feel free to check out the description down below. Finally, the last reason why some sneaker restorers will stay small forever is because they still rely on just word of mouth. I will say this, word of mouth is very powerful and it will definitely get you far in the beginning, but it does cap out, especially if you're only getting word of mouth from your local area. You can only service so many people before everybody knows of you, or the majority of people in your area know about you, and it kind of just caps out. And as a way to get over that hump and continue to bring in new business, you'll have to explore different methods of getting new people, whether it be cold DMs, passing out cards, hanging up flyers in different neighborhoods, in different maybe shops like barber shops, things like that. Or you can dabble in Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads to further your reach beyond just your general area, so you can bring in more customers and grow your brand even more. But if you're still stuck on word of mouth and not testing at least one or two of those different ways to bring in more customers, you will be stuck basically where you're at for a long time, if not forever, if you don't ever try to fix it. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all learned something. And if you all have any questions, leave them down below. Or if you have any other topics you want me to touch on, drop those down below as well. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.